Hello and welcome to the Squirtle High School Basketball Playoff Preview Show. Tonight we're going to talk with some teams involved in the Class 4A, Class 5A, and Class 6A brackets who are playing in the area tournament this week, trying to punch their ticket to state. And the first team that we will visit with tonight is the Bethany girls team. They are 22-4 on the season, looking to get back to the state championship and defend their title. Coach Eric Saylor there with all the girls. What's going on, guys?
Hi.
Hey, what's up? That's awesome. You guys are having a banquet tonight? What's going on?
We have a team dinner tonight.
Yeah, very good. Well, you have to be happy with the way things are going so far. You guys have been really untested so far to get to the area tournament, and one game coming up against Stillwell this week to get back to the state championships.
You know, we knew this year was going to be a special year, and this season we scheduled some really tough opponents. We had an opportunity to go to Washington, D.C., play the number 7 team in the nation, the number 15 team in the nation, and fared really well in those games, but learned a lot about ourselves and about our team. And I think it's prepared us for this opportunity.
You guys had a special ceremony the other night, and you've got a brand new leading scorer in Bethany High School basketball history. I thought that was really cool. Logan Martin, who's such a good player and does a great job coaching the Putnam North girls, was there to present the picture to Ms. Van.
Yeah, Logan Martin held the scoring record for Bethany for 16 years. And anytime you hold a record for that long, that means that you did something pretty big. And then Zaya Van here, she broke that. She scored 1,688 points to take the lead, and she's still scoring buckets for us. So we're super excited and proud for her.
I was going to ask her and Keziah about going to University of Oklahoma and together committing there and how they follow the Sooner season this year and what they're kind of looking forward to making that commitment.
I'm really excited to play there. Me and Zaya played AAU together, and so we were really happy when she came to Bethany. And I'm sad that I don't just play with her next year, but not too sad because we get to play with each other at OU. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited to play with her at OU too. I think our chemistry is really good, so I think we'll have a really good 3 years together.
What will it be like playing on the same floor as your dad?
It's gonna be really fun, and I'm really blessed to have that opportunity. So yeah.
Yeah, that's a very athletic family that you're a part of there. Coach Saylor, I was going to ask you, I mean, you did challenge your team. You guys have been incredible the past couple of years. What have you improved on this season, or do you feel like that you guys have been better in some areas?
You know, I was just talking about this earlier today. Because we challenged ourselves with our schedule, it got me out of my comfort zone with this team. And they proved to me that we were able to do a lot more things than I thought we were capable of. And so I think by doing that, it's prepared us for this moment. And I think we're going to be a tough out for sure.
Yeah, no doubt about that. I mean, you guys also played Fort Smith Northside and Edmond North, which are two of the top teams in their respective states in the big class too. What did you learn about your team going up in those games? Because you guys played really, really well, even though some of those outcomes didn't go your favor.
Yeah, you know, you go back and watch those games for us. We're in all those ball games, and we had opportunities to take the lead, or we might have had a bad call here or a bad call there that kind of affected the end of the game. But it's something that we learned as we went along, and we took those losses, but we didn't allow them to be a loss, but we actually learned from our mistakes. So I think that's really helped us.
All right, what do you know about the Stillwell team that you're going to face? Kind of a non-traditional matchup for you there in the northeast corner of the state, and don't normally play a lot of teams from the metro.
You know, sometimes we see those teams when we go to team camps in the summer. You know, they're an athletic team. They're long. They're physical. They play really hard-nosed defense. Been really impressed with how they defend other teams and other opponents. So we're ready for the challenge.
Do you guys have any special kind of routines that you go for, or any superstitions that you will be worried about this week?
Girls?
We do a turbo time dance.
Well, we're gonna have to see a little bit of example of that here before we
it's the song that is like, right. It's really annoying.
go. Okay, good.
Everyone's okay. Ready?
That's great. That is awesome. I don't know that you guys can lose with that. So we really appreciate your time. Thanks everybody for joining us tonight. It's really cool, and we appreciate you guys taking the time to do that after your dinner. And good luck this week.
Well, thanks for all you do.
All right, we'll see y'all.
Bye.
Take care. Last 4A defending champ Bethany 22-4. I'm not sure that I had the moves to do that, but I was actually going to say that I might try it, but I'm probably not very good on learning how to do the moves. So let's go up to the northeast part of the state, Class 4A boys division. Sequoia Claremore Eagles, coached by Tim Bart, veteran of many different coaching stops, and Luke Wood, one of his senior captains. Tim, what's up?
I hate following that. I'm not dancing.
Yeah, that was pretty good, huh?
Yes, it was. Hope Luke will dance in a minute. I promise.
Okay, good. I can't wait. Yeah, better hit than me. How did you guys get moved up to 4A this year after being in Class 3A last year?
That's what I want to know. Thanks to the OSSA and the new rule where we don't vote down, move up or down our privates, we got stuck. We're number 64, and we didn't get to move down this year, so kind of stuck at the 4A level.
And Tim, you were out of coaching for a while, and I know you spent a ton of years in some larger schools. What drew you back to this job? Because this Sequoia team has been really good the past couple of seasons, and they were good the year before you guys got there, and you guys continue to be a good basketball team.
That's exactly right. I wouldn't have taken it if it wouldn't have been a good job. You know, I tell people all the time, my first job was at Moore, and they were 0-23, and they had lost 36 games in a row. And then I go to Will Rodgers, and they were 2-21. Then I go to Barnesville, they were 1-22. I said, I'm tired of rebuilding jobs. And a good friend of mine, Steve Cooper, who I've known for 30 years, was the athletic director. And we got in a conversation one day, and I said, I may be interested. And boy, I'm glad I did. You talk about a great bunch of guys, and it's a lot more fun to go 25-3 and be 22-4 than 1-36.
Yeah, there's no question about that. Luke, what makes this team special, this program?
I think it's definitely the chemistry. You know, we have guys that have been playing together for a long time. We've known each other forever. It's definitely the chemistry.
You guys like to get up and down the court a little bit, right? I mean, you would prefer to play a pretty quick tempo game.
Right.
Tim, is that something that you've –
Sometimes too fast. No, I mean – at Barnesville and stuff, I didn't have shooters like this. And we played, 40-38. And, last Monday night we made 18 threes. And we've had 2 or 3 games where we've made 16. We averaged 10 made threes a game. So I had to adjust to that. And then the other night against Douglas, as good as Douglas was, we made a decision at halftime. We were going to fire. We're going to live and die by 3. If we're going to get back in this game, we're going to have to make threes. And we didn't. We died by it. But it's fun. And boy, when we're hot, it is fun to watch.
Yeah. No, I think there's no question about that. That Douglas team is pretty good. Of course, they're the defending champions in this bracket. You guys have kind of, again, a little bit of a non-traditional opponent in Ardmore, who, if you're the smallest school in Class 4A, they're one of the very biggest schools, and they've been in 5A forever and ever. So what's your scout on them, and what do you have to do to beat the Tigers to advance?
Really good team. They're above. They're like 15-12. Tough schedule they played. They've beaten Marlowe 14 in districts and turn around and beat Marlowe 14 and to knock them out. Got some outstanding athletes, and if they shoot it well, they can beat anybody. And I think coach made a great adjustment. The first thing at Marlowe, they were a little cold. Last week, he shut them down. They didn't shoot as many threes. They attacked the glass more. They're physical. They're athletes. They're going to pressure you full court. We got to handle the pressure. And then, it all comes down. We got to make shots. And if we do that, we can be successful.
Luke, you got a little bit of taste of the state tournament last year. As a senior, I'm sure this is the place that these next 3 games will be extra special to you to try to win and get back there.
Right.
Okay, I've always been confused at this, and I go back and forth, but I always go with the city name and then the school name. So I'm going with Claremore Sequoia. Are you guys telling me is it different? If I have it backwards?
You got it backwards. So Sequoia does not have a town.
Right?
We're a lot like Dell in that regards, where we don't have a post office. We have all of our utilities are out of Claremore. Our address is Claremore. Our zip code is Claremore. But we're a rural town that's been there since 1907. So that's why we're Sequoia Claremore, and we only really put the Claremore because you got Sequoia Tahlequah. So to separate the two, that's why we go by Sequoia Claremore.
Yeah, and they're not that school that Tahlequah Sequoia School, not very far from you guys. You guys are right there on 66, right?
Right on 66. We're a mile outside of Claremore before you get to Foyle. So you had to go to Grand Lake that way. If you're ever going to Grand Lake, you snuck through that way. But proud history. Last year was our first year in the history of school to make the state tournament, that group, and they're hungry, and they would like nothing more to make a repeat trip.
All right, last question. If I come to Claremore, where are we going to eat?
Well, we do have a restaurant right next to campus. We have a Dollar General and we have a Mexican restaurant next to campus, and that's the only two things we have. So we'll go to El Teca.
El Teca. What's their specialty?
What is it, Luke? What do you like there?
Everybody gets the chicken and rice.
Chicken and rice.
Yeah.
Is it spicy? Is it good?
No, it's just it's good. It's chicken, rice, and queso, and it's pretty simple, pretty good.
Okay, I'm in. I like queso. As long as queso's on top of it, it's good. Wish you guys the best. Thanks for your time, and congratulations on your success this year, 22-4.
Thanks a lot, Mark. Appreciate you covering high school basketball.
You bet. Enjoy it very, very much. That's again, Sequoia Claremore. They are taking on Ardmore this week, and that should be a really, really good game. As again, Sequoia trying to get back to the state tournament. They made it last year in Class 3A, moving up, trying to make it in Class 4A. Our next stop is in the 5A girls division with the El Reno Indians. They are 24-0. Jennifer Douglas is with us, and Zoni Sleeper. Did I get that right? Am I close?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're close.
Okay, well, good. I appreciate that. You guys have had a great season so far this year at 24-0. And I know trying to climb the hurdle of where you guys exited state a year ago. Getting back to state, what kind of challenge will it be coming up this week?
On Thursday, we have Shawnee, which we've played them already twice this season. And they played us the toughest. It was 30-39. We only beat them by 9 points. So that was the closest game that we've had all season. And then the second time we played them, it was 15-point difference. So, I mean, it's definitely not going to be easy. We're going to have to show up and make sure that we're ready. Wendy does a great job with her team. They're always ready. They do, what they do. They work really hard. And so we're going to have to make sure that we show up and we handle our business.
This group that you have has played together for a long time. I think even going back, a lot of them to playing at Darlington, which has a great basketball tradition there. So tell me a little bit about the chemistry. I'd like to hear from both of you, the chemistry that this team has and how you guys are able to kind of play so well together.
Most of our girls are predominantly Native American, and so a lot of them do come from Darlington. And so they start playing at Darlington in, second and third grade. And so they grew up playing with each other. And then, with the Cheyenne Arapaho tribe, with the Respect program, they do that during the summer as well. But also even the girls that don't play at Darlington, they play against girls from Maple. And so it's kind of like a rivalry. And then whenever they get here to El Reno, they have to kind of like mesh and blend and use each of their, great personalities or, their differences and things of that nature. And that's what makes us really good.
Zoni, can you talk about the amount of tradition in the Native American culture with basketball and how important it is? Because I know Darlington, I used to work for the Cheyenne Arapaho tribe, and that basketball at that junior high program is so important to everybody and how successful they had been.
Yeah, I think it's really important, especially with us as the players, because we know that there's people on the team like us, and especially the fact that we all grew up together, we know each other, and we know we play with each other. It's like sort of like a cheat code kind of growing up together. And I love Darlington. Darlington, is what taught me everything. And yeah, I'm just really happy that I have all my teammates from there.
Yeah, absolutely. Coach, how did you feel this year about the districts? Did you like it? Did you not? You didn't have really much schedule flexibility. I think they might try to do some things next year to help you a little bit there, but did it allow you to challenge yourself the way that you wanted?
Truthfully, I mean, I'm fine with districts. I was a little bit nervous about travel, but it wasn't too bad actually. But I feel like our schedule was not as strong as it has been in the past. Don't get me wrong. Like, I think our girls are great. I just don't feel like we were challenged the way that we should have been challenged. We actually play a lot of like tough 4A teams and tough 5A teams, in the Suburban Conference. And then, some of our tough competition in 5A and 6A that were in our tournaments that we went to, they had to drop out because they could only take like 2 tournaments and because they wanted their rivalry games. So that, messed up a little bit. But, I mean, overall, I was fine with districts. I think that, it was great as far as that goes. And so I'm kind of excited going forward. I'm a little nervous about the every year thing. But I mean, I was okay with it. It wasn't that bad.
Give me a little bit of a breakdown of Class 5A. It seems like it's been really, really balanced. There's a lot of the same programs are there, but in the state tournaments, the games have been really close and kind of could go either way.
Yes, for sure. On our side, we have us, Shawnee, and then you have Carl Albert and Midwest City fighting for that spot on that side. And I think that all, especially, Carl Albert and Midwest City dropped down from 6A last year. I think they made the state tournament last year in 6A. And so they're always like a great team. Carl Albert's always been in the state tournament with us as well. It's always a rivalry every time we play them. And then on the other side, you have Sapulpa, Tahlequah, Booker T dropped down from 6A. And then and you have Coweta. And so, or Will Rodgers. I think Will Rodgers recently beat, I think they beat Sapulpa this year, and they even beat Booker T. And so there's a lot of tough competition. Sapulpa, Darlene always does a great job with them. Like, they're always ready. They're super tough. They post up, they rebound, they run the floor, they do a lot. And then Tahlequah has everybody back from last year. And so they're, a title contender as well. And then they have also Jaden Buttery, who is unable to play last year because of an injury. And so they're fully loaded. So it's definitely going to be fun to see who comes out on top. It's going to be tough once you get there. I'm not going to lie.
Zoni, any teams that you want to see or any games that you're most looking forward to? I know the one that you guys got coming up is the most important to try to get to state against Shawnee.
I'm very excited for state tournament. The season, we've obviously been undefeated, and I've just been waiting for a really good game like Coweta and Adarko like we had, which were my funnest games of the year because we were so ready for them, and I'm ready for the competition coming for state.
Coach, tell me a little bit about her. What makes her a special player?
Najoni is our floor general. Like, she sees a floor like nobody's business. Just the other day, I think she had 13 points and 9 assists. And so she definitely likes to give the ball up a little too much, maybe. But something that I'm super proud of her is that this year she's become a vocal leader. And so she's definitely stepped up in that aspect. And also, she's also worked on her game. She's definitely become a better 3-point shooter. And so she's become very lethal from the 3-point line. So not only does she, make sure that she facilitates and gives her teammates the ball, but she can also hit the open shot whenever needed.
Nobody ever had told me that. I mean, I'm firing it up all the time. I'm not passing very much. What's been the difference in you shooting the ball better this year? Confidence, reps? What's it been?
I think reps. I've been staying after practice every day since October, maybe.
Yes.
And it's really helped me with my confidence and just knowing that I've done this every day, especially in big moments, And I also like the fact that I have an influence on people, that I've influenced others to do the same with me.
That's outstanding. All right, I'll ask you guys the same question. If we're going to eat in El Reno, where are we going?
I say Piscinas, but I like Mexican. And so they have like this white queso. It is the best. You dip flour tortillas in it, or you can dip your cheese or your chips in it. It is so nice. It is great.
I like the flour tortillas. Get a little butter and salt going, and then that's outstanding. All right, Nizoni, what about you?
I'm fast food. I love pizza. I'd probably say pizza or Sonic.
Okay, hey, there's nothing wrong with that. That was where I grew up in Blackwell. We had about 4 choices, and Pizza Hut and Sonic were 2 of the 4. So I've
Right.
eaten plenty of meals there. Hey, thank you guys. Best of luck and continuing your undefeated season in pursuit of a state championship. We really appreciate your time.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
You bet. Great to talk to y'all. All right, next up is Booker T. Washington in Class 5A, a great tradition-rich program in the Tulsa area, and they're trying to punch their ticket to state this year. Eli Brown is their head coach, 22-1 on the season. Coach Brown, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. Tell me a little bit about this season. I'm going to ask you the same question because you guys are normally used to playing a schedule that will include some trips out of state and a lot of different schools from different classes.
Right.
And so how have you liked the district schedule this season?
I got mixed emotions about it. I like that every game counts, but I miss the opportunity to play a little bit tougher competition as well as some usual foes. So I don't mind it, but I think there's still a few kinks that maybe need to be worked out.
Yeah, dropping down into Class 5A is a little different realm than what you have. The Tulsa area, those competition there with Union and Owasso, and I know you guys went at it with the Owasso last year, really sharpens you up a little bit. So you guys have not played many games where you have had close games, and you were down in the game against Collinsville this past week in the third quarter. What did that do for your team in terms of kind of getting some of the jitters away maybe of facing a game that could go the other way?
It did a lot because we're so young. We needed that adversity to hit us before we got to the playoffs, and that was the perfect game at their place, down 9 at one point. And so it taught us that we can fight through adversity, but we can also lose if we don't bring our best. And so it was good for us to have that, and good for us to be able to go through that and come out on top.
Is this your third season back at Booker T?
This is my fourth season.
Fourth season. Okay. What's it like to be at such a special place? There's the head coach after playing there.
It's amazing. I mean, being back home, it was tough to make the decision to leave Central and come over here because I spent 10 years as the head coach at Central and then 13 overall. So I spent a lot of time growing up at Central, and we won a state championship in 2015 at Central. So leaving there was difficult, but it was a joy to be able to come back home and coach here at this historic program, want my alma mater, and just try to do something special here at my alma mater, and it means a lot to me.
What's the best Booker T team of all time?
Ooh. Oh, man. It's so many. I mean, 97 stands out. 99.
Now, okay, help me with my history. Help me a little bit with my history here. So 97, that's Ryan Humphrey, Marcus Hill,
Antonio Reed, BJ Tiger, all those guys.
Eton Thomas.
No, he was gone that year. He was gone.
He was gone. Okay.
He was 96.
R.W. McQuarters.
And he was gone in 95.
Okay. All right. Well, that group of squad, and I think Ryan played on that team with R.W. and Eton.
Yes.
As a young player.
Yes.
That's pretty good. But like you mentioned, you can go back and even in the 80s, and some of those teams would have been, I mean, Wayman's team, I mean, all those are right in that mix. But
Wayman's team, Richard Dumas's team, Melvin Gillum team. I mean, you can just go on and on and on about the different teams that there was a 4-peat in there and that 80s group. I mean, go back to Julius Piggies back in the 40s. First black player to play at Pitt. And so you can go on and on, but so many great teams and so much history here.
I know
5 national championships, 33 state championships altogether, 16 OSSA state championships. So it goes on.
I know that topic has to come up a lot around the school from time to time. Is there any kind of consensus? I mean, who barks the loudest when they're talking about their squad?
Probably 84 and 97. Those two seem to be the ones that get the most love.
Well, it'd be hard to argue against those teams, and they didn't have a Richard Dumas or Wayman on them, right?
Right. It's just so many. It's so many. 4 pros, and I believe we had 3 McDonald's All-Americans. So you got so much history and so much greatness within this program.
You guys have Edison coming up. They got a really, really good player on their team.
Yeah, Jeremiah Johnson.
Yeah, is the Tulsa Public Schools, is it still as strong as it's been recently? I know some of the programs are down. Randy has got his team going really, really good at McClain right now. Do you feel that the Tulsa Public Schools is still up there as one of the top public schools in the country?
I think the talent has waned some over the years. There's a lot of kids going to the suburban schools, so that has contributed to somewhat of a decline in TPS. But there's still a lot of talented kids in this district. I mean, Hale has a couple talented kids. We have some talented kids. Edison has a really good talented guard, Jeremiah Johnson. Memorial has talent. Randy has talent at McClain and so on and so forth. So, Rodgers has a bunch of young talent that is coming up through the ranks. And so I think there's still talent there, and it's starting to seem like it's starting to kind of come back a little bit. So TPS is still strong. I mean, we have, I think, 4 teams fighting for a state tournament in class, 3 in class 5A and then Randy in 4A. So we got 4 teams that's trying to still get there and can all get there.
Tell me about your personnel on your team. You said you got a young team, and who are your players that you're going to rely on?
Well, we have 3 back from last year's state tournament team: Isaac Sanders, Jamari Simpson, and BJ Harris. Those 3 are obviously going to be our 3 that we lean towards the most because they've been there. They were in the state tournament 2 years in a row. We're looking to make it a 3rd. But those 3, and then you have young newcomers like Jock Mitchell, freshman, who is really, really good, really talented. He's going to have a bright career here at Booker T. And then you have a host of other young, talented kids like Braxton Daniel and Gregory Nash, and it goes on and on. And so guys have stepped up like Mason Matulis, sophomore shooting guard. He's really kind of turned it on. And then guys off the bench like Trey Bruner, who's a sophomore, and LJ Scott, who's a sophomore. Those guys have also been heavy contributors throughout the season. So we have a lot of young talent and no seniors. So we bring everybody back. And so however we finish this year, we look to do the same thing, if not more, next year.
With a young team, do they feel that tradition there? Do they carry themselves with the pride of going out and playing for Booker T?
Absolutely. I mean, from day one, we've talked about the tradition that Booker T has and the shoulders that they stand on. So they know, they're fully aware of the type of teams that have come through here. And so they want to leave their mark too by winning a championship and being on the wall of fame here. And so they know exactly who they play for and what they represent.
Coach Brown, thanks for your time. We wish you the best of luck this week at the state tournament. And if you guys advance to their best of luck at the area tournament and your game against Edison coming up on Friday.
Thank you for having me, and I look forward to hearing from you again.
You bet. Coach Eli Brown at Booker T. Washington, entering the area tournament 22-1. Only lost to Mustang before Christmas, playing a 6A team in a tournament there at Bishop Kelly, I do believe. All right, let's next go to the 6A girls division, and we got a loaded team and a talented team. There's Rachel Crabaugh, the head coach of the Edmond Memorial Bulldogs. And Coach, we'll let you introduce your players.
We have our senior captain, Addie Johnson. She's going to play soccer, D1 soccer at UTSA. And then we have Avery Jolmstead here. She's being recruited by a lot of big schools across the country. She is a junior for our program. And then Janiyah Williams is supposed to be on this call. I don't know if she's in here yet, but another big player for us, junior, just committed to Oregon. So
I saw that commitment that she did it after the game with Tony Sellers the other night. So that's got to get a little bit of kind of pressure off of her shoulders. And I know she said that she felt like it was really a great cultural fit for her. So I know that you guys all have a lot of great future coming up after the high school ranks. But man, 6A, is this the best that Oklahoma high school girls basketball has ever been?
I mean, I've been around for a little while, and I'm an Edmondite myself, and just to have it all so close to home, so much talent that is just right in your neighborhood, it is really special. It makes it extremely competitive and very fun to watch these girls go compete at such a high level.
Is there a lot of bragging rights on the line? I know Edmond North, you guys go back at it and back and forth with them. The boys are going back and forth with them. So what's that like to be in a city with another really good basketball program?
Competitive. It's just these girls who grew up playing against each other. They've always, been around each other. So it just makes it really good basketball. Really, really good basketball. So it's fun. Hi, Jay.
I've been here for 3 years. late joining, I guess.
Well, why don't you answer it for us instead of us trying to figure it out ourselves? But tell us about your choice in going to Oregon.
Ultimately, I feel like they're gonna help me accomplish the goal of getting to the pro level. And also, like you said, it's a great cultural fit for me. Like Oregon's a beautiful state, and I feel like the university matches a lot of my values that I share personally. And also, like the coaching staff is amazing, and they have great player development and resources. So you really can't go wrong going to Oregon. So.
The Willamette River looks a little different than the Canadian River. I'll just say that. I mean, no disrespect to our state, but they got that pretty nice scenery going down in the middle of town there.
You can go river rafting down there too. It's pretty dope.
Yeah, I agree. Addie, tell me how soccer helps you play basketball. What is that? I'm sure you have to be in pretty good condition to move from soccer on the basketball court.
Yeah, I feel like it helps me like on defense. Like defense is more what I take pride in, and getting to like in soccer you have to run 24/7, and so when it goes over to basketball it's like going up and down the court. Like the court is a lot smaller for basketball, and so it makes me be able to like it helps for both sports. Basketball helps me in soccer, and like it helps my coordination just be quicker. And I just feel like for soccer like you have to be in such great shape, and it leads over to basketball, and it just helps me be able to run up and down the court all game long. And I like have to always tell Crabaugh like let me press, and always like helps us. I feel like defensively especially, like we can all get up, and I always push my team to get up with me and just always be pressing and stuff.
It doesn't sound like you have to worry about her doing much conditioning, right?
Oh, what a blessing that you have a player begging to press. I mean, it really, and she's serious. She's like, can I get up? I'm like, go girl, get up.
Avery, you're really talented at a vast array of different things. I mean, what do you see as your biggest attribute for the team?
I would say my length right now. We lost one of our tallest girls on the player earlier this season, and I think using my length and my height on the court, I think is one of my biggest contributions right now. But also being able to shoot the three, I think it creates a mismatch for any person that's guarding me. So.
Does she have the green light, Rachel?
Oh, I mean, yeah. Jolmstead, Jolmstead has her three. Janiyah has her mid-range jumper. Addie's the transition layup. It creates creates a perfect storm if we're all hitting.
Janiyah, who you mentioned trying to have aspirations to play the pro game. Who are some of your influences that you look up to?
On the W side, definitely Joel Lloyd, and Skylar Diggins-Smith and Brianna Stewart, Sabrina Nescu. They're all so tough. And I guess I try to take pieces from players that I watch. I try to take pieces from their game. Like Joel Lloyd, I feel like we play the most similar. Same with Skylar Diggins. Like they both like the off the dribble mid range and like turnaround jumpers and like spot up threes. So it's just like I like watching players that I can relate to. And so it helps me learn the game and like study it. It's just like I also just really like watching basketball. So
what did you think of Steph and Sabrina's 3-point contest? I thought that was incredible.
Yeah, I thought it was super dope. Like it's just like it was a big day just for basketball in general and like women's basketball. And like I feel like a lot more people took the game with women like a lot more serious that day. I feel like the people still trying to diminish women's basketball. They're bozos, they're lame, but you know, it is what it is. She held her own and she did what she needed to do. So yeah.
I may know a guy or two like that, but it's a story for a different day. You guys have Broken Arrow coming up, and that Mackenzie Matherin, a very good player. I've seen her play a little bit. She's talented. Tell us a little bit about that. And then again, it's just so tough. You've got Choctaw that's undefeated. You got Edmond North that's in your division. How you guys kind of prepare to run that gauntlet where you need to be to win a state championship?
You know, I think being on the road, while the districts at first, it was a little disappointing to get that East Side bid. I think now looking at where we stand, it was a blessing because we're battle tested. We are very much used to the road, having to drive to East Central. You know, it's like, but you know, we're used to it. We are used to being on the road in big games with crowds kind of against us and being together. I mean, this team has so much spirit for each other, which is something that's undeniable if you watch us.
We talked about, I think, 2 years ago about how this group was young and going to state, and now they're old. and they're going to say it. I don't want to depress you because I know you're going to miss these girls, but what's it like to be on the ride for all the success that y'all have had in the last few years?
You know what a lot of people don't realize is this past year we graduated 5 seniors last year, and 4 of them went on to play college basketball. And so really, like, this is a whole new team, but it has experience, but it still is a whole new young team. Even though people kind of look at us as really experienced and veteran, we had a lot of senior leadership last year. And so this year we've kind of developed our new identity. And I think that they're so prepared because they're trusting each other, and they're tough, and they're also just true athletes. I mean, so I think we're ready. I mean, we're gonna give it our best shot.
Well, we appreciate you guys' time. Congratulations on all the success that you've had this year. And I know a lot of people are going to have their eye on the 6A girls bracket with all the talent and the great teams that are involved. So thank you all very much.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you.
Great day.
All right. Have a good night. Our final team, Norman High School. Corey Cole, the head coach, is going to join us. Norman High legend. Tigers are playing as good basketball as anybody right now in the state of Oklahoma, on quite a bit of a winning streak. And so we'll get everybody tuned in here. Norman got Deer Creek coming up this week, a team that they played last year in the first round of the state tournament. And so I know that there's been some serious battles going on there here recently. Yeah, okay. We're still waiting on Corey. How you guys doing tonight?
Good. Thank you for having us.
You bet. I'll just start with you all. Just tell us how about the season is going right now. You guys are on a roll, playing some great basketball. What's going right for you?
We're playing as a team.
I would say from where we started 2 years ago to where we are now, we're just trying to turn the culture around. Like, Coach Cole's a alum legend, like you say. So we're just taking his word, trying to turn the program around for him and all the alums out there, like Coach Coop. And I just say we're all bought in to what we're doing.
Yeah, definitely. To add on to that, got a few wins under our belt, and just kind of like finding ourselves an identity as a team, and just being able to build off that and keep it going in the state feels great.
Yeah, I feel like doing just how much we bond together as a family, as a team, helps us keep pushing through all the adversity we go through. Just keeps us winning.
Outstanding. Trishawn, tell me what have you improved on the most from a year ago?
Probably my jump shooting. That's the most that I've been working on, trying to perfect for the next level. So I can get ready to take my year of JUCO, so I can get out of there. Hopefully half a year, maybe 2.
Now, are you still good from like 45 or 50? I saw you guys beat Westmore last year on your jumper. You still have that kind of range?
So in practice, yeah, but no, I don't really have to shoot those shots no more because we take the game more serious. We're locked into our scout, so we don't have to have those miracles.
That wasn't a miracle, right? I mean, that was planning on going in.
Yeah.
Isaiah, your dad is junior, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I used to see him play back in the day at McGinnis and kind of dominate the inside there on some of the best. I mean, he's on some of the best Oklahoma high school teams around. What have you learned from him, and can you take him now?
Yeah, I can definitely take him. Yeah, he's taught me a lot.
Okay, I'd like to see that. I think he's probably still got a little bit of game. So, hey, Bo, tell me about running the show for these guys. I mean, what's your job on the floor, and how do you kind of handle that and knowing what to do?
I mean, these guys, they make it so easy. You know what I mean? They make my job very easy. Coaching staff. So just to be a leader out there, direct the offense, stuff like that. But all credit to the guys and the coaching staff. I mean, Coach Cole likes to say my job's the hardest, but when you got guys around me like these guys, and the positions that the coaching staff puts me in, it's not even hard. It's a blessing and a fun job to have. So that's really what it is.
Matthew, I've known your dad for a long time. Tell me what makes this team special.
I think what makes this team special is how we just all bond and stick together, no matter the occasion or timing. On the floor, whether it be in the locker room, whether it be even schoolwork, we get together, we do schoolwork together. Just all the little details to just bond and better each other.
What do you guys remember about Deer Creek from a year ago? And you said, Isaiah, you've always got the scout in already. So tell me what you guys need to do to win this game. They've got a record that looks a lot like yours.
Yeah, I mean, we know that they're a great team going into it. But we say this every day at practice. It's about us and what we're gonna do, and so just staying locked in on like you said, our scout and what we need to do, and if we can do that first and foremost, then it'll come to us from there.
Corey, what's up, man?
What's going on, Mark? Sorry about my technical difficulties, my man.
It's good to see you. It's good to see you. I know we can finally see you. What's it like being at your alma mater and having this chance? I think this is the best chance Norman High's had, I think, to compete and win a state championship since probably going back. I don't know. I think when Coach Tolan last time to win a title there. Is that right?
Man, it's been 20 plus years. It's full circle. Basketball is just it kind of resembles life so much. So coming back and having this group and our third year with culture established, and we got a lot of talent here, sleeping talent, guys that are hungry. Definitely, I'm more driven than I've ever been because I've kind of figured out the high school game, and it's been a rejuvenation. I mean, these kids keep me young, and I love that. And then the fact that again it's Norman High School, it means everything to me.
How often do you cite Tony Robinson or Dan Hayes? I mean, I don't think that there's many people in Oklahoma that have more of an impact on Oklahoma basketball players than Dan does, or Dan did over his career with his shooting camps and things like that. And I was around a little bit of the Norman High teams that you had and you played on, and so I know your legend. I know all about how good those teams were and how tough Tony was. So how do those two guys influence how you coach?
Man, Coach Hayes yesterday, just reached out again like he always does. Again, I know I coach a lot with just the structure, the philosophy. I get a lot of it from Coach Hayes, and like he could break down anything. And he was a lover of the game and a supporter of like so many coaches. So I try to do that as much as possible. And then Coach Rob, he's more that fiery guy, that passion, wear your emotions on your sleeve, and super outwardly competitive. And I get a lot of that drive every day. And the guys can attest that is there's no days off. There's no halfway of anything. It's the Tiger way, and that's full speed 24/7 because it's a privilege to play basketball. And our guys know that. And this group has really been living that out every day.
You guys haven't lost since the opening round of the McGinnis tournament. Was there a moment there that you guys, and that was a good game against a good team that's still playing in Edmond Memorial, that you guys found some things out about yourself and have been able to go on this run?
Absolutely. I mean, we just kind of had a literally coming to Jesus about what are we going to be known for. We really kind of simplified our offense, went everything through Trayshawn because, I mean, he's one of the top 5 players in the state, period. And he's proven that the last 6 weeks. So we simplified everything, got our starting rotation figured out, and just made the game simple. And then make sure we got our best player the ball and ran through that. And the guys have bought into that. And then we've been able to get Isaiah going, DJ Randall going, Bo going. Matt's come in and been our Draymond Green and kind of doing everything. So the role identification started with just going back to, hey, we're going to run this through Trey and build from there. And we figured that out, slow for Coach Cole 9 games in.
You guys feel that? You guys feel like, hey, I know what I need to do. My role is on the team every night, because that's incredibly important in basketball.
Yeah, I feel like we all understand our roles. Even when someone doesn't understand, they know they can come to us like during practice, after practice, before school, during school, if they need help. Like we have a couple players that we talk to daily to help them like get what they want out of this. We talk to them about their roles. So everyone is bought into it.
Does Coach Cole ever get out there and give you guys? Does he ever bust you up in practice?
There was one practice he kind of surprised us, throwing a jersey, got out there, did the drills with us.
You guys don't have any idea. I'm telling you, you would want no piece of him in his prime. So be nice. Hey, we wish y'all. Hey, thanks for your time. We wish you guys the best of luck this week against Deer Creek and getting back to the state tournament. And we'll check in again soon. But really appreciate it.
Thanks, Mark.
Thank you.
Good to see you guys.
Good to see you.
Norman High, they take on Deer Creek this week, and again, they're 20-4, winners of all those consecutive games after I think that was January the 4th, losing the first round of the McGinnis tournament. That'll do it. I want to thank all of our teams tonight for stopping by for the playoff preview show. Bethany girls and Sequoia Claremore boys, and then Class 5A. I want to say big thanks to Booker T. Washington and El Reno, and then again Edmond Memorial and Norman High in the 6A division. So all this stuff is going to get kicked off on Wednesday night. Class B, I think it's Class B boys and girls on Wednesday, the first round for those, and then the 6A tournament games will begin on Friday. The 4A and 3A and 2A will begin on Thursday. But this is the best time of the year for all of the high schools, and we'll be there with you every step of the way. I do believe we'll have some live coverage coming up after the evening session games of the Big House, possibly maybe even the afternoon. So we'll get you up to date on everything that's going on there and recap those games and take you through the best time of the year for high school hoops. So for everybody tonight that's joined us, Corey Rogers behind the scene, Adam D. Source, who helped set up the show, Mark Rodgers, we'll see you down the road here on Squirtle.tv.